Hello everybody, I am going to be making a protective herb mix. So I have cleansable with Florida water, and I mean you can use smoke or whatever. It's just what I had that was easiest right now. First thing I'm gonna put in is gonna be black salt, and I made this myself. To make black salt, you kind of just put a bunch of protective herbs in there too. I just thought it would be good to start with the black salt because it has like the most protective properties. And I say it has the most protective properties only because like when I was making the black salt, I put all those protective properties in it, and a lot of the ingredients that are already in my black salt are like some of the ingredients that are also going to go into the protection herb mix that we're creating today. And then some of them aren't yet in there, but I think it's a really good base to start with. Next, I'm going to be adding graveyard dirt. If you have like ancestors or people that you know, you could go to their burial site and ask them if you can have some of their graveyard dirt. It's always customary to leave an offering, of course, after that. But for like regular graveyard dirt, you can just like go to any graveyard and kind of just get some dirt there. I'm also going to be adding some crossroads dirt, which I got from my deity. Next, I am going to be adding some hot foot powder. Sorry, hot foot powder that I also created. And I'm running low on my hot foot powder, so I can do a video about how to make more of that when I run out. Next, I'm going to be adding some nettle, which is really good for banishing like negative energy. They used it for exorcisms back in the day, as well as to protect against poison and illness, and to remove curses. So I think that nettle is like one of the top herbs that I would suggest people get if you want to like venture out of just doing magic with like cooking spices. I have in the past come across a witch, and after talking about stuff, I'm like, here's some nettle because I think every witch needs some nettle. So it was like a gift. I'm like, here's some nettle. Next, I'm going to be adding hyssops, which is said to help in spells seeking the protection of God. Also used in rituals for protection and purification, as well as rituals for healing. So get some hyssops in here. Next, I'm going to be adding mugwort, which, they usually use it for divination, but it's very good for protection as well. To protect against like psychic attack. They also use it to like burn for dream magic as well. For me, my mugwort is like really fluffy, so I'm just gonna add like a couple of those. I'm also gonna be adding some horehound, which is said to offer protective or powerful protection against magic, and believed to also help maintain clarity during magical rituals. Also kind of fluffy, but not quite as fluffy as the mugwort. The mugwort like tends to ball up and be harder to separate. Horehound is also like that, but not as fluffy. Cinnamon is also good protective. Also adds a kick and to add speed. I'm also going to do marjoram because marjoram is always a good thing. It helps to remove any unwanted feelings. Excuse my boyfriend, he just got done taking a poop and he decided he wanted to tell me that he loved me right in the middle of the video, so we love you, babe! star anise seeds are really good for protection. If you have like whole star anise, that's also like a good herb just to kind of like set out where you want the protection to be. I'm using star anise seeds because it's just a little bit easier to put into an herbal mix. Love me some cloves. Oh man. It's like one of those herbs that you first smell and you're just like, there is magic in here. Just like invigorates all your senses and you're just like overwhelmed with the feeling of this grounded, earthy connection. Love me some cloves. Next, I'm gonna put in some crushed red pepper as well as some cayenne pepper for the protective qualities. And some cayenne. So today I'm making an extensive amount of like charm bags. It's a new way that I am going to be protecting my house. And so I'm making this herb mix so that I can put this into the charm bags. And I'm also going to be adding some crystals to the charm bags as well. And I'm also doing this under the super full moon in Aries on September 29th. So I don't know if you have heard, I don't think this video is going to come out anytime soon, so it's probably going to be coming out later. But I definitely do the thing where, excuse me, thank you. Every time I sneeze, I feel like it's my guides blessing me and telling me I'm in the right place at the right time, as well as all of these spices are definitely tickling all of the nerve endings in my brain. So anyways, full moon in Aries, super full moon in Aries, a lot of initiative. There's also so what did they say? It was a conjunct North Node with Aries, or yeah. So there's like a lot of initiative and there's a lot of forthright manner and protection happening. So on this full moon, I will be making a lot of protective things. And I'm not sure when I'm going to put these videos out, but I just thought that like if I was going to be doing some pretty intensive rituals or spells and stuff, that it would probably be beneficial for the collective if that was something that came along on your newsfeed or in the algorithm or suggested for you. Just I want you to know that you don't have to use all of these, of course, all these herbs or whatever. Just use what you have, and it's all about the intention that you put into it. So even if you just use cinnamon, because it's a common one, sprinkle cinnamon, you know, put your energy into it, and that's what really matters. So from here, I'm going to be adding some oils as well. And I have made these oils personally, and honestly I do recommend I recommend people who are into the craft to do their own. I know it's like in a pinch it does really it's really easy to just like buy other people's stuff, especially when you build a connection with the person and whatnot. So I'm not going to tell you not to buy other people's stuff, but I think that a lot of the intention that goes into making it for yourself really does tend to make that yours and put more power towards it, because I mean other people's power works better for them than it does for like other people. But I mean, when I first started, I bought other people's stuff to get started as well. I just felt like called to make my own stuff. So some of the things that I'm putting in here, I'm not telling you what it is, just because like I've had a lot of trouble with like one of my other channels where I've had people like stalking me and or using my channel to get more information on me so that they can use that against me. And there are people like in my personal life, so it made it like harder for me to build that trust with like the universe. Since then, a lot of things have changed, so I'm feeling more confident in where my path is leading, and due to the way that things have unfolded, because when the universe wants somebody to do something, they're going to provide that avenue for that, and it might take longer than you previously assumed. And I feel like a lot of times people get hung up in the expectation of what it is that they think are their blessings and how they should receive them. But I think that when we allow ourselves to be in the flow of the universe and we really let go, that's when a lot of the magic really starts to happen for us. That's not necessarily something that I have walked or stumbled upon with ease either. It was more so like beaten to me over multiple occasions of me trying to force things to happen, or knowing that I'm meant for something and just really getting lost in that expectation, and then, you know, the mental anguish of not getting what it is that you think that you're meant to have. So I am really working on just kind of like being in flow with the universe and allowing things to be without putting any type of expectation on it. And I will tell you, it's not like I've been doing this for a long time. This new mindset of letting things happen and not trying to control the universe. Like I said, it's the full moon in Aries now, which it's the 29th of September, and Mabon was just around the corner, so like over the past weekend, and that was one of the rituals that I did for Mabon, which would be like the balance of light and day, was to surrender to the universe, like officially, and doing that ritual to burn all of the things that I am releasing and whatnot. So since then, I have been asking my guides for guidance, and when I feel like I might be trying too hard to make something go through, then I am stopping myself and trying to get the guidance of my guides. So, and knowing that I wanted to do like a lot of protection magic for this full moon, especially since Venus and Mercury are no longer in retrograde, it just felt like the best time to do this. And I felt like I was guided to make this video with no pressure on when it would be released, just that, yeah. So that's where we are at. Alright, so now that I have officially made this herb mix to where I want it, where I can pretty much feel the fury of the thousand suns for this protection, I am going to put this to the side, and then I'm going to start saging my protective sashes, and then I'll be back to start making them. Alright, so now that I have cleansed the cloth that I'm going to be using, I am going to make these bags. And some of these are a little bit on the smaller side, so I'm kind of just going to fill them like with my smaller spoon. And then I'm adding sunstone. Just gonna add a small sunstone. So I have like a bunch of bags that I'm going to do. Some snowflake obsidian. Tiger's eye. I'm actually gonna add a few of these tiger's eye because I have a surplus amount of tiger's eye chips, and then also a smoky quartz, and then so to make sure that they don't it doesn't spill, I'm just going to cross the middle, then cross the edges, like so. And I'm actually going to get my twine ready. So the twine that I've chosen is just going to be a black one, and then I'm going to anoint it with a protective oil. Today I'm going to be using my Fiery Wall of Protection oil, but if you have like black cat oil, I think would still work, depending on what you have available. You could even make an oil, just like spur of the moment, put some protective herbs in an oil and use that. So I'm going to anoint it by running it through there. Then this one's going to be cut in half. And then we will do this. Okay, so I'm just gonna clean my hands with a little bit of Florida water, get all of the oil off my fingers. And here we go. After I get the middle, I'm just gonna fold these little pockets as well. There. And now it's ready for the string. And I am going to knot it 3 times. And there is my little charm bag. Alright, so let me know in the comments what you think. You can put these in your car, you can put them in your workstation at work, you can put them above your doorways and your windowsills, and the kids' backpacks. You can put them anywhere where you feel like you need that extra protection from negative energy and or evil. So if you try this, or if you have any other protective herbs that you use, if you have any questions, let me know. Whatever's going on and stuff, if you want to start a conversation and whatnot, I look forward to starting those conversations. Have a good night and happy full moon whenever this actually gets uploaded.